In this video, we'll be doing a couple of things. For starters, we're testing out the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 Combo Creator Kit, yes sir. And we're gonna be doing this customized Hot Wheel, yes sir, let's get it. So right here, this is the '07 Chevy Tahoe from Hot Wheels rescue team, I believe. It's a really not so good color. It reminds me of a taxi rather than a fire rescue vehicle. So we're gonna tune it up a little bit, give it some flavor, some flair, and we're gonna convert it into a taquachi kid truck. You heard? Si quema no quema kid. So we're gonna start with the snips. I always like to remove the little brush guard, interceptor, bumper protector thing that all cops have, and yeah, just making it smooth so it can be an adequate taquachi truck para ir a troquear, you know what I'm saying? But you know, just removing the overall extra bumper stuff, and then we're gonna sand it down. But before we do that, we want to grab a little X-Acto knife and just kind of shave off the little bumper guard. Make sure you be careful not to slice a finger or two. And you can see me coming back with the snips. It's all about detail, you know what I'm saying? It's about patience. But yeah, I'm excited to have this new camera so I can record this type of videos. I'm just trying it out. Don't mind my crusty hands. I'm a working dude. You know, I got no soft hands, brother. But here we got a little chisel, a little wooden chisel, so we can chisel out the bumper thing. Because that thing is like really in there, so we want to smooth it out as much as we can. One thing I can already tell about the Osmo Pocket 3 is just the super HDR thing. I'm probably gonna go back and remove it because, man, you can see too much detail. It's like artificial sharpening, I believe. Look, you can see how I'm coming here with the chisel, remove some of the particle. At some point I'm gonna make the actual grill more 3D dimensional, because it's just like it needs to have more dimension into it, more depth. It's definitely like giving off wooden carving vibes, you know what I'm saying? And I use a little wood brush so I can remove like debris, so I know where I'm going with this. So I do this as a hobby, so I don't trip, you know what I'm saying? I take my time. Here you can see I'm just like sanding it a little bit, you know, making it smooth. But yeah, take your time. You can see I'm speeding up the video because it's all about a hobby, man. Like, you gotta really lay back, chill, you know, get your tea, get your coffee, get whatever you need to get so you can get in the chill zone, you know. Here I'm gonna get the drill and separate the chassis from the shell itself so I can get into more detail work. But like always, make sure to use common sense. Try to wear some safety stuff, man. You know, you don't want to get none of this in your eyeballs. You don't want to go too far with the drill and like hit your finger, you know what I'm saying? If you feel comfortable, you know, just do what's safe. Here you can see some of the design. I like how, like, you know, like all this was hidden under that red glass. The little plastic, it doesn't really let the detail shine through. So we're gonna do something about that, and we're gonna maybe use some acrylic or what is it called? UV light. Acrylic resin, I think that's what it's called. We'll show you in a minute. But here I go back and smooth out some of the extra stuff, make sure everything's smooth. The cop lights / emergency lights that I had in the roof, those are gonna go here. I'm gonna like map out where I'm gonna start cutting so we can convert it from an SUV back to a truck. I'm just using a regular Sharpie that's like fine tip, you know, that, but it doesn't have to be perfect. This part is just kind of get an idea where you're gonna cut, that we can make the flatbed. I use my super thin snips to start cutting. You know, depending on the shell of the vehicle, you probably have to use like something more beefy, like a little grinder or like some kind of rotary tool to cut off. I got lucky here because, like I said, the shell's plastic. I can just use my little snips and I can just snip away. You can also use a jeweler's saw to cut through like die cast or even plastic, you know. You can even use like an X-Acto knife if you just be careful and try not to cut a finger. Here's a little tip on how to cut it with your X-Acto knife. Make sure you don't cut towards you And if you could put a cutting mat in the bottom, you know, just use common sense and use the tools that you got, man. Like, you know, you don't have to get too crazy, you know. um like Bob Ross said, there's no such thing as mistake, just happy little accidents. So we can always recover from anything, you know. You're removing the post, so I can sand it in a minute and then make it into a flatbed. You can kind of see the shape of a truck now, so that's where we want to get it to, you know. Do some sand in here, sand in there, making it smooth, so we can put a bed cover in a minute. But yeah, this Osmo Pocket 3, I noticed that it has a lot of focus breathing. I have a hard time focusing the shot, but you know, it's great quality. It's 4K. You know, it does make it look crispy. I could have gone back and adjusted the manual settings to have a better shot, but it's a little bit too overexposed. But I'm just running it as I got it out of the box. You know, no fancy settings. Here we're going to be using the double cut carving bird bits for my rotary tools. These are perfect to start like carving out or cutting pieces, and this is where I'm going to start like cutting out the radiator part of the grill. Just carve away. Just be really careful with this stuff, man. Like, you can easily get hurt right here, but you know, just slow and steady, that way you don't mess up the canvas. This part right here is one of my favorites. It's just so smooth, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just perfect. Just, you know, like, I love it when things go smooth, you know. And this is my first time using these little burrs on any project, to be honest. And, you know, so far it's doing good, you know. These should be able to handle die cast if you need to carve out something or add designs, you know. For me, it's just like cutting away the grill area, you know, giving some depth and dimension into it. And then I come through it with a little chisel. This little chisel tip, I think I found it, like, the tips, I found them in a big kit of X-Acto knife dupes of Harbor Freight. And right here is a little sanding stick that I got on Amazon. It's like super good for detailing work. They come in different varieties of grit, but I love it how it's just like pointy, and like I can get into the certain crevices I can't get through. Then I can come back in with my X-Acto knife and just like shave off some extra fuzz and little plastic boogers. Same thing right here, we're gonna add a sunroof. I use my Sharpie, mark the area where I'm gonna cut it off, and I'm gonna use my rotary cutting tool to use the burrs, and we can cut out a little window sunroof. That way it can be certified taquache. Let's go. I really like how I'm just like yapping and yapping and yapping, and I have not even made a script for this, so I'm just literally just winging it. But I tell you what though, practice makes perfect. Here I'm gonna use some sanding sticks that I got also on Amazon. And really just go to town with it, you know. Just rinse and repeat until you get the product that you want, you know. So you can see the sunroof is now, it's now taking shape. I like it. And if you're liking this project, make sure to give me a like. And if you're actually listening to this whole thing, man, make sure you also put a comment that says, "We the people," you heard? Hell yeah. Here's a different grit of sanding stick. That way it looks smooth, because we love smooth things, you heard? You are now listening to the Bandit X Ride podcast. Yeah, baby. Check this out. We finna cut this right here, because we're not keeping the back seats, even though that seems like a cool project for another custom vehicle, but not today. Today we're just doing the Taquache yard. So I'm gonna come in with my snips and go to town. Now that I'm really thinking about like the whole attention deficit that's going on TikTok, I wonder if people are even gonna like watch it all the way through. But if you are watching all the way through, that's good. If you're just having this as a background sound, even better, because you know, no, you don't have to feel lonely, because I'm here for you, you heard? We're gonna put the cabin thing. Look, that looks good. And we're gonna do a dry test fit, see if it's taking shape. Damn, man, look, it's already looking good enough. Now here's a tip that I haven't seen people talk about, and these are the proximity ID cards. These are programmable, I believe. They're like fobs, but you can get like a pack of 100 for like 12 bucks on Amazon, and these are perfect for like plastic molding and like shaping up and making parts, you name it, man. You can just, these things are so versatile. I definitely recommend picking some of these, or as my fellow youngsters would say, damn Daniel, these come in clutch, they be busting, bruh. But right here I'm gonna cut them up and make the bed cover I was telling you about, and I'm gonna sand it up and shape it up so it can kind of look some half decent smooth, you know what I'm saying? Cutting the tips because we don't want that too sharp, you know. Just follow the body of the vehicle and you'll be good. FYI, these little sanding things, I got them off Dollar Tree, $3. These are for like the nail, for those acrylic nails that the girls have. Well, now we can use them too. I mean, they were there for everybody to use anyways. Like, even if you were to cut your nails, you use these little files and file it down. But yeah, look, just use this right here. This is super glue by Loctite, and this is the professional liquid, I guess. It's a little bit more stiffy, if you know what I'm saying. This definitely will give it the gorilla grip you're looking for. Boom. These cards are also good for making like lip splitters, spoilers, side skirts. Definitely recommend them. And then you can use this little small poly strips. You can get these little strips at a Hobby Lobby. There you go. And then you just shape it up, you know, just go as you go. And right here I'm gonna design the back window, the glass part, the one that has like the little slider. This is where I get creative and you start using the little burr cutting thing, and then sand it. Boom, rinse and repeat like I said before. Just use every tool you got in your arsenal, bro, and just kind of like shape it up. And if you have to come back and cut more, sand more, just dry test, you know. Cut like 10,000 times and measure once. Now I just gotta add like 2 center pillar sticks that go in so I can create that sliding window. This thing, dude, this is my favorite glue because like it's not too runny, but it just bonds really quick, so that way you can get like the project rolling. Then you don't have to wait like 30 minutes, 2 hours for it to like fully harden, you know. Most super glues are like that anyways. Now here I'm gonna use the burr tool to cut out and carve out the upper grill, you know, chipped away. You can also see that I also did the bottom towing hook area. I don't know what you call those, but those holes right there, that's where like you have like a little hook sticking out for towing away. And it's pretty much the same thing, man. Rinse and repeat. I already added the 2 pillars for the rear window, and I also added roof spoiler thing. Now here's another tip: baking soda and super glue. This is gonna be a perfect solution to like fill in those body holes right here. Like for example, the rear handles, the line panels for the back doors, which we already deleted. So we're gonna add baking soda and super glue, and it's gonna create like this bondo, and we just come over and sand it, and it should fill in those gaps. So yeah, you just have to just play around with the mixture to get those body panels sealed up, you know. Come back, sand it, you know, just like that. Boom. And then you remove the rear handles and the rear door until it becomes somewhat smooth. You know, it's up to you, man, how much detail and how much work you're willing to put in. So this is what I'm talking about, like right here, these little lines right here that show what the rear door is supposed to be, and the handles. And I'll put a bit of glue, put some baking soda, make some body filler, sand it, and that should really make a body filler, you know. Now we're gonna take it to the painting booth and we're gonna prime it down. Usually when you throw in some primer, you're gonna see some details, some holes, stuff that you missed. So this part right here, you know, it will show you what you missed out. Yeah, I'm also gonna do the interior. I primed the interior so I can paint over it in a minute. But yeah, dude, that primer will really show you where you missed. Like, you see those little dents right there? Boom. I just have to go back and resand it, add more glue and baking soda, and come back. So I just did this like twice, you know. And then after that, I took it to the painting aisle. So now we're gonna add some airbrush colors that I got at Hobby Lobby. Pearlize, as I say, pearlize. He says pearlescent silver, quick silver, if I say so myself. And then now it looks like a Silverado, you know, really sparkly. Hell yeah, slay queen, period. Now before I add the top coat, the gloss or matte finish, I like to come back and come with some markers. These markers are acrylic water based, I believe. So I come over then just start hitting the tail lights and any other detail. So yeah, acrylic markers, man, they really do be bussing. And so your colors don't go to shit and your top coat gets all wrinkly. Try to stay to one type of like paint medium. So if you're gonna do oil, stick to oil through the entire time. If you're doing water based, stick to water based. That way they clear, can match the paint and doesn't give you a chemical reaction. Here I'm adding the fog lights. That's like a really tiny detail you can barely even notice. And I'm gonna grab another golden acrylic marker and paint the Chevy logo, you know, the bow tie. This is where I feel like Bob Ross, man, just taking my time. Here's where I decide to do what kind of headlights I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna do LED custom aftermarket sequential LED headlights. But you get to decide whether you want to leave it OEM or just go in with, you know, creativity. But you know, it's up to you, man. Here I want to paint the little guards. It's just the more detail you paint, the more detail you add, the more it looks like more cool, I guess, more efficiently. But you know what they say, the devil's in the details, you know. So Satan, what are you, my comrade? But believe it or not, man, this whole project took me a whole week. You know, even though it's gonna be a 29-minute and 32 seconds video, you know, this really took a minute, man, because like these type of projects are designed for you to like to tackle once you're home from work or like after school. You know, just come here, have a little chill time, and do some cool projects, man. But hopefully you learn a thing or two from this little video, you know, or at least it inspires you to make your own custom Hot Wheels, custom Matchbox, or custom whatever you want, man. You know, you can customize rock if you want to. Maybe next video we're gonna do a custom rock. Maybe we should. So these acrylic markers, man, these do really come in clutch. I got these I think it was Ross. I think I got them Ross. And then another set I got at Hobby Lobby for sure. But you can also come and find these at Walmart, bud. But in a minute, we're gonna go into water slide decals. That's where we go into like the whole Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2 customization, you know. And we added stickers like you know what it is, boy. Ricer.com/we the people, you heard? Now look at this little truck, man. Once you add the little lights, the turning signal lights, the LED lights, you know, the halos, and you know, the emblems, fog lights, tail lights, headlights, you know, it really does looks different. You know, this is really smooth, nothing too crazy. And I mean, I'm gonna get a little bit too crazy and add the sticker bomb the truck. Here we're gonna do a little upholstery, how you say that? Upholstery? Well, we're gonna paint the couches, the car seats. We're gonna add some sparkles. Check it out. And then we're gonna add Edgar into the mix. This is my boy Edgar. What's up, Edgar? We're gonna chop them up narco style, and we're gonna put them inside, make them fit. This little dude I got on AliExpress, I think it was a pack of like 150 or 160 little miniature HO scale little dudes. They're so tiny that you can actually put them inside. Now once you got your acrylic design, we're gonna go over with the top coat. I'm gonna do a matte finish. once I choose what rims I'm gonna slap on these, then you're gonna shave off the bottom part. That way you can like drop the truck, because I'm gonna do this little technique with like super glue and raise it a little bit so it can be a lower truck, you know. So if I'm gonna lower the truck, I have to make sure I shaved off this little guards so the tires don't get camber. So we're gonna shave those off and drop the truck. Cut. See camera, no camera, cut. And this is a technique where I tell you that I raised the axle in with super glue. That way it drops. You have to be adjusting as you go. Then I'm gonna start putting everything together with the super glue. And now it should be dropped with a homie inside, Edgar, certified hood rat, and ratas, aka El Chitorranas, you know. Look at that. Beautiful. You know, you can legit just like slap it together and it should hold, no screws needed. But yeah, all we will do is just add the windshield, the sunroof, the rear windows, and you'll be done. I mean, you could. And you can go super glossy. You just have to do multiple layers, 3, 4 of gloss, so it can look like super shiny. Here I'm just dusting it off because we're gonna go with micro crystal clear. This is the compound we're gonna be using to make the windows, the sunroof, the rear windows. And this thing is kind of complex to slap in there, but you know, you hit it all around and then you do like this weird bubble thing and whoop, and just clean out the edges. And this will dry out clear, so it's gonna give it the effect of like glass. It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit fragile, so you know, this is just what I used to make a template, so I can slap in the resin. Is it resin? Yeah, the UV resin, and then we can make it thicker. This is where the camera like went crazy because I didn't know I was recording in slow motion, and then I went on post and speed up the video. Look, this is a UV resin thing. So you just kind of let it, this thing will spread out and level out without any air bubbles, and then you just come in with a UV light and just like zap it. But yeah, this part of the video was recorded in slow motion for some weird reason. I don't remember like pushing the button on the screen because the little screen is so tiny. So yeah, this thing is just really good. I just like to shape it up, do a few layers so it can be thick and it doesn't, like when you touch it, it doesn't crack. Like I said, the crystal is a little bit too thin, that will actually make holes on it. So if you go over it with the resin and just do layers, then it'll be more stiffy, you know. And then you do the rear glass, the slider glass. You can use a silicone brush so you can, like, you know, level it out, but for the most part it levels itself out. No air bubbles, so this is my favorite for sure. And you can use the same resin to make the glass more like lifelike. You know, it really does stand out and it pops out like 3D. So definitely recommended. Same thing on the taillights. Plus, if you're gonna be handling the model, you're probably gonna rub it off. Like I said, I only did like one single clear coat that made it look like a matte finish. So the more you like rub it with your fingers, the detail will come off. So like I know that the headlights are gonna be the more vulnerable areas, so I hit it. So micro crystal clear and Alefeu UV resin definitely came in clutch. Look at that. That's after like a whole day of just chilling there with like, I have like this little curing station for UV, so I just let that thing run for like 30 minutes and then cool down for a minute. But you can just do it manually with a flashlight and just slap it with UV. This is where the decals come into play, man. I got these on Walmart. It's just literally water slide paper, and then use your printer and print it off, and then you spray it with some clear coat so you can start putting it on. Now the water slide decals are not that hard to use. You dampen the area where you want to put it on, so that way you give you like flexibility on still having movement, and in case that's not where you want it, you can still like shift it with a cotton swab, you know. There's no way home. these are pretty cool, man. You come in and just adjust it, remove the wrinkles, and slap them on, man. These are pretty cool, you know. There's two varieties, which is like the clear backing, and then there's also white backing. So if you have like white colors, you're not gonna use a clear one because there's not a printer yet that prints white, and if it does print white, it's probably super expensive. So yeah, that's what they call water slide, because they just slide it off the paper and onto your masterpiece. So you could have just walked away with the truck, you know, as is. If anything, just put like OEM Chevy decals. But this right here is an adventure taquache, so he's gonna make a racing truck. So he's gonna sticker bomb it, the whole sad boys, everything, you know. So yeah, I mean, you could have just left it with OEM decals, and it would have been a beautiful piece. But this dude is expressive, so I decided like we're just gonna add a bunch of stickers, you know. Racing troca, cool. Si quema, cool. Let other taquaches know that your truck si quema, cool. With year one decals and muscle part performance, you already know what it is. You for sure gotta represent Sinaloa, cool. HKS, because the truck is a twin turbo build, you heard? So yeah, that's what we represent. HKS super sequential blow off valves on this. But yeah, man, this is the single cab racing truck, Formula Taquache cut, with the billets and everything, representing Sinaloa, Culichi town. Now we're gonna use floral wire to make the little towing hooks in the front. That's why we left these little holes. And then we're gonna glue them together, because it's a racing truck. You need to have towing hooks. So yeah, I love the design of the grill, that way it gives it more depth. And we're gonna use these little straws that, I mean, they're not straws, they're just modeling pipes that I got on Hobby Lobby. Cut them with a little miniature pipe cutter, because there is a thing of little pipe cutter. And then we're gonna make the exhaust pipes, you know. It's definitely gonna be cammed out too. All engine LS, you heard? And that's the little truck, racing style cut. Now if the stickers didn't give it away, the big exhaust will, and it says "Si Kima Cook Puro Taquache Cook" with Edgar. Damn Edgar, damn, back at it again, fool, with the billets, you heard? I mean, we could have done a better job, but it's been a minute, and I'm glad I'm back making videos. You have it. See camera, no camera. The truck can do good. So this is my custom. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you learn a thing or two. And if you do enjoy this type of content, make sure to give me a subscribe. But only if you feel like it. If not, that's fine, you heard? Now enjoy the rest of the video.
Y el que no baile con